And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should any emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time?
Traffic at this time.
And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 2,900 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics and current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically, and in addition we're running our new number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas. One aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our NOSWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie, got a copy?
Border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, but I got a copy. Can you hear me at all? Can you hear me at all? Go ahead, over.
Charlie, you're right neck and neck with some external QRM coming in. Your signal is right next to noise, Roger.
So right next to noise, Roger.
Craig's been calling on his phone one more time. I can't continue with you. Donnie Swamp with both my amplifier and the 7300. Go ahead.
Roger, Charlie. Well, you know, some days are like that. Just like I said, the QRM level is really very high today, and that our usually best PASDR is really loaded down with QRM stuff. Roger.
QRM stuff, Roger.
Okay, look, I'll see you in 2 weeks. I will see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Give me a phone call. Yeah, see you in 2 weeks. A1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. 73 up that way, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Sorry we did not able to make contact this weekend, but and I'll look for you 2 weeks from today. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. My name is Jim, KC9VKV, and we record live from now until 5, and we'll get right into it. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
W4 Alpha Whiskey Mike. Alpha Whiskey Mike. Over.
Alpha Whiskey Mike. Roger, what's the name there?
Alpha Whiskey Mike. Roger, what's the name there?
Roger, hi there, John Diggleball Hellman, John Sam. We're located in Virginia, about 10 miles south of Washington, D.C., over.
Roger, John, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, John, and what radio are you running today, sir?
This will blow your mind. It's an old Drake TR7 Alpha, over.
TR7 Alpha, is that a Roger?
TR7 Alpha, is that a Roger?
That is Roger, over.
Roger, Roger, John. Now, you do have a little distortion. I'm making allowances for that being about a 50-year-old radio?
Being about a 50-year-old radio?
But that is correct. I'll back off my set.
I tell you, are you running a gate in your audio into that unit?
A gate in your audio into that unit?
Negative. I'm just using a straight mic. I just backed out on the audio gate a little bit. Oh.
Roger, there's something in your audio that keeps cutting off at the end of the word. I'm not real sure. How about your amplifier? Could that be cutting off early for some reason?
Could that be cutting off early for some reason?
Negative. We were using push to talk. That's probably why. Or rather, Vox. I'm using Vox. That was probably why. But now I'm using push to talk. Over.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Use the push to talk. That's a lot cleaner. Your Vox was messing up. Now, do you want to try to set up that TR7? It does have some controls. It's got a. Does it have a light for the ALC, or how does that go?
Light for the ALC, or how does that go?
Yeah. Well, it's got a light when you're kicking a modulation too hard. It lights up. Over.
Roger, Roger. Well, I'd say increase your audio just a little bit, and let's see that light come on just a little more often, Roger.
That light come on just a little more often, Roger.
Okay, well, I don't like to have it come on too often because that means I'm really getting into this thing. We're running barefoot 101
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, that radio does not have a compressor processor, Roger?
Roger?
Roger, that is correct. There is an outboard processor, but I don't have it hooked up right now, over.
Roger that, Roger that. Well, it sounds pretty good. I know it also does not have onboard EQ. Is that a Roger?
Also does not have onboard EQ. Is that a Roger?
That is Roger.
Well, I'll tell you what, John, why don't you give me about 10 or 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system. Let me look around and see if I can find a better copy for you, Roger.
Then see if I can find a better copy for you, Roger.
Okay, very fine. The antenna is about 10 feet above the ground, and we're getting pretty good results with it. Worked quite a bit of DX this morning on 10 meters, over.
Yes, so I've got you on my local antenna about 10 over. The thing is, your audio is kind of peaky, and if you have any room left over as far as that light's concerned, I think you would sound a little bit better with a little more audio and let your ALC circuit kind of compress your audio or limit your audio and fatten your audio as opposed to having such wide excursions in your amplitude levels in your audio. Roger?
Roger, I upped the gain just a little bit so the light is coming on all the time. How's that? Is that any better, over?
Well, amazingly, you do not have any distortion, and you still have quite a bit of swing in your audio. So maybe, come down. What were you before you went max?
That sounds pretty good this week, over.
I missed your question, over.
Yes, sir. What was your level before you went max out?
Well, it was not coming on at all. And now it's on virtually all the time, over.
Yes, sir. Okay. What I was saying is on your mic level, did you go from like 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock or something like that on your mic level?
No, from about 9:45. Up from about, let's see, about 20 minutes. I'm having trouble virtualizing that to the clock. I went from about 20 minutes out to a quarter of, over.
Yeah, so it sounds pretty good to me. I would run it so much like that. You came up quite a bit gangbusters level, almost doubled your perceived level, Roger.
Almost doubled your perceived level, Roger.
Roger. I'm not using the normal mic that I normally use. I usually use an R444, but the connector broke on it, and I can't solder too well. 5 years old, over.
Yes, sir. Well, it sounded really good. Now, I would get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down. Roger, roger.
The Gorilla Tape out and taper down. Roger, roger.
Well, I just hold the button in and go for the best, over.
Yes, sir. Now, you might be slightly high in frequency. I know those TR7 units do tend to wander. That whole Drake series tends to wander from often, but you are just a little bit high on frequency, just a tad.
You are just a little bit high on frequency, just a tad.
Well, my indicated frequency is 7187.9, over.
Yes, sir. Frequency is 7188. If you want to dial that, you might be dead on. The frequency that we're on is 7188. Roger, roger.
7188. Roger, roger.
Okay, I'm on 7188 right now, over.
Oh, sounds better, sir. You're really close, just almost dead on. So I would trust my my freak counter. Roger, roger.
That's my freak counter. Roger, roger.
Okay, well, it's pretty accurate. So for a radio this time, over.
Yeah, well, let's see. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2900, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger?
Roger, thank you very much. We'll try that, over.
Yes, sir. I think you'll find the recording interesting, but like I say, particularly for a radio of that vintage. Now, keep in mind that you can always get some outboard gear to go right in that mic input, and that radio will just be, along with that freak counter that you have, if you had outboard gear for EQ and compression, that radio would be just as sound perfect as any radio going, Roger.
Sound perfect as any radio going, Roger.
Roger, fine. Well, I do have the Drake compressor, the SP75. SP75, but I don't have it hooked up right now, over.
Yes, sir. I would not use that. I would go to more modern state of equipment that has EQ on it and compression. Roger, roger.
EQ on it and compression. Roger, roger.
Roger, we got a bunch of old stuff around here, and some of this new digital stuff is beyond me. So we just say what we got, over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that's sounding really good. I would get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down. Roger, roger.
Sounding really good. I would get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down. Roger, roger.
Roger. Thank you very much, over.
Yes, sir. 73 up that way, John. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Thanks very much, and we'll try to catch you next week.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
This is, my name is Jim. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Hey, Jim, November 4, Frank, radio limit.
November 4 station, come back with that call sign slowly phonetically.
November 4 station, come back with that call sign slowly phonetically.
No, I'm not here. This is November 4. Call starts radio limit is about 30 miles north of Atlanta, Georgia.
Roger, Roger, station in Georgia. Come back and give me about 10 on your radio, 10 seconds about your radio, the thing you like best about it. Let me look around and see if I can find a better path, maybe in the Georgia SDR, Roger.
Find a better path, maybe in the Georgia SDR, Roger. All right, very good, very good. There's Sparrow.
Yeah, I think I got you pretty good on the Georgia SDR, Roger.
Yeah, I think I got you pretty good on the Georgia SDR, Roger.
And what did you say, Jim? I'm sorry to double you a little bit.
Yes, sir. I think I've got a pretty good copy on you on the Georgia SDR, so come back with that call sign one more time, slowly, phonetically.
SDR, so come back with that call sign one more time, slowly, phonetically.
November 4, Foxtrot, Radio, Lima.
Foxtrot, Radio, Lima, Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
Foxtrot, Radio, Lima, Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
The name here is Farrell. That's Foxtrot, Echo, Romeo, Romeo, Echo, Lima, Lima. And we're located in Cumming, Georgia, about 30 miles north of Atlanta.
Yes, sir. And what radio are you running today, Farrell?
Yes, sir. And what radio are you running today, Farrell?
We've got the Yaesu 991 hooked up here this afternoon, and it's kind of new to us. We've got headed about, I don't know, maybe about 3 weeks, I guess. And we're still trying to get everything adjusted on this rascal there, Roger.
Yes, sir. First thing would be to try to determine if you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit band pass. 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, TBW. It's called wide in many circumstances. It'll let your transmitter operate as best that it can in that position, Roger.
Transmitter operate as best that it can in that position, Roger.
Oh, Roger. Well, let me take a look here and see where we are at here. This one second. I believe that's where I am, but let me just double check this.
Yeah, I think that's system transmit sideband in there.
Transmit sideband in there.
Well, this stuff is big in the menu, and it's just kind of hard to find it right this on a quick look, but it won't save it for a second.
Roger, you want to take a note on that? You want to take a note on that? It's not a big thing, but it can be if it's not. In other words, if you're less than 100 to 2900, you've started to roll off your top end, and there goes the neighborhood as far as articulation. So we want all the articulation we can get. So just if you would, if you haven't found it, just make a note to put that radio in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, TBW, Roger.
100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, TBW, Roger.
Is menu item number 110. Number 110, okay, thank you.
Radio in the 100 to 20.
Roger, Farrell, did you copy that?
Roger, Farrell, did you copy that?
Yes, sir, I copied it. I'm headed to 110 now.
Roger, Roger. Thank you, sir.
Roger, Roger. Thank you, sir.
Okay, our 110 is set at 100 to 3,000. 100 to 3,000.
Right. I would drop that to the 3,000 back to 2,900, which gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's front porch. I would run that, pull that back to 2,900 on the top end, and get just a slice of daylight before you're in somebody else's area. Roger?
Get just a slice of daylight before you're in somebody else's area. Roger?
Roger, exactly. I understand. Okay, I'll put it back to 100, 2,900. That's over.
Yes, sir. Now move to your compressor processor, and we're looking for a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor. 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, and needless to say on, and a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100.
Needless to say on, and a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100.
All right, now move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first.
He is running 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first.
Well, Okay, that's about 2/3 right there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And I forgot to say, just as you would say any other word, don't stress it. Just say it. Because if you stress it, then you're going to get an erroneous reading when you just are doing QSO. So it would be audio, just the same level as any other word in the QSO. Roger.
Audio, just the same level as any other word in the QSO. Roger.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's about the same, bud. Yeah. No, that's good. That's about 2/3.
Yes, sir. It looks pretty close. Okay, so now let's go to your equalization. What kind of an equalizer do you have? Is it a 3-band, 2-band, 8-band, or what?
Is it a 3-band, 2-band, 8-band, or what?
That's the EQ that's built into the radio, the parametric 3-band EQ.
A parametric 3-band, is that a Roger?
A parametric 3-band, is that a Roger?
Yeah, it's the EQ, parametric EQ that Yaesu builds into the radio.
Okay, so do you have a set of P controls since you are in the processor mode? Do you have a set of P control EQ controls, Roger?
P control EQ controls, Roger?
Yes, sir. I have 2 sets of controls, one with the processor on and one with the processor off.
Yes, sir. So we have the processor on, so you'll be on those controls, and we want to take that treble control to 2.7 since it's a parametric. Is it adjustable parametric?
2.7 since it's a parametric. Is it adjustable parametric?
Yes, sir. The frequency is adjustable, and the level is adjustable, and then the bandwidth itself is adjustable.
All right, so it's a 3-band, one's treble, one's mids, and one's bass. So we want to take that treble control, and we want to adjust the frequency to 2.7. 2.7 on the frequency on the treble control, Roger?
2.7 on the frequency on the treble control, Roger?
Okay, that would be parametric number 3, 27. See, parametric EQ number 3, set at 27. Now the second adjustment is the level. Okay, I guess how much you want to boost that or cut it, whatever. So then the third adjustment on that particular frequency would be the bandwidth plus or minus from the 2700, how far you want it to attack that frequency, how far plus or minus from that.
All right, since you have adjustable width, we want a width of 4. On that 2700, we want a width of 4. And we want to take that 2.7 4 clicks hotter than what it is. 4 clicks hotter than what it is on that 2.7 kilohertz adjustment, and width of 4. Roger?
Adjustment and width of 4. Roger?
Okay, let me see if I went the right way on the that's width, and let me see if I went the right way on the hotter. I went plug in the plus direction, so we were at 7 on the level. Now we're on number 10. That's as high as it will go. So it went from 7 to 10, and we have the bandwidth on 4.
Yes, sir. Now I want you to do something. I want you to increase your mic level by 5 clicks. Increase your mic level by 5 clicks. Roger?
5 clicks. Increase your mic level by 5 clicks, Roger.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, we went from 17 up to 22. 5 clicks up there, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Now I'm not real sure why your ALC meter is showing you low, but you still had, when I suggested go 5 higher, you still had a lot of swing in your audio, so we just closed down a little bit and made you a lot louder. Stay on mic if you can, and let's deal with your mid frequency, your your mids. We want those to be flat. Mid frequencies flat on that equalizer. Roger, neither cut nor boost, or off, whichever comes first.
Equalizer. Roger, neither cut nor boost, or off, whichever comes first.
Okay, that would be still in the processor section of the EQ, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. These are all in the P controls.
Have it on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. These are all in the P controls.
Okay, mid is now turned off. In the 4FRL.
Roger, Roger. Okay. Let's go to the bass frequency. What reading do you have on your bass frequency?
What reading do you have on your bass frequency?
500 for the frequency, 0 for the level, and 2 on the bandwidth.
All right. Move your bandwidth to 4. Move your bandwidth to 4.
Bandwidth to 4. Move your bandwidth to 4.
Okay, got it.
All right, and move your frequency to 200. Frequency to 200, Roger.
Frequency to 200, Roger.
Okay, got it.
All righty, and tell me about your antenna system for about 15 seconds, Roger.
About your antenna system for about 15 seconds, Roger.
Okay, well, we are running a homemade in-fed cut for 80 meters, and with a 49-to-1 transformer. We made that from scratch in an electrical box, so it seems to be doing pretty good, I think. But I'm going to do a little bit of work on that. Help that a little bit, but anyway, that's what we got.
Yes, sir. I just ran into a SDR that was really bassy, but now I'm back on Georgia SDR, I believe, and you're really sounding good. Tell me something I don't know for about 15 seconds.
Tell me something I don't know for about 15 seconds.
Well, we're in Cumming, Georgia. We're originally from Alabama and been over here about 25 years. And so it's home now to us, and I guess we'll be here for the duration there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would run it just like that. Get the gorilla tape out and taper it down. And if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2900. Roger?
It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2900. Roger?
Slow down just a little bit now. Let me write that down. What did you say it was again?
You go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. So that's YouTube and search for KC9VKV logbook, and that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2900, and I'll have it uploaded tomorrow by noon. Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded tomorrow by noon. Roger?
Very good, Jim. I appreciate it. My goodness, man, that's, you got it going on there this afternoon, and I thank you very much.
Yes, sir, my pleasure, and I think you'll enjoy your recording. You have a lot more articulation now. So let me say 73, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
K4LNV.
Station LNV or something, give me your call sign again slowly phonetically.
V or something, give me your call sign again slowly phonetically.
Kilo Echo 4 Lima Mike Victor. The name is Joe. I'm in Columbus, Georgia.
So then we go to the compressor processor on, and at a 3 out of 10, or, well, I think that was a 30 out of 100. Processor on and 30 out of 100, Roger.
Processor on and 30 out of 100, Roger.
Roger. Now I'm at processor 30. I was at a level 10. Now I'm at a 30. Over.
Okay, sir. Then to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the word audio, don't stress it. Just say it like you would say any other word in a QSO. And adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 7 or 2/3.
Until your ALC is running 7 or 2/3.
Oh, it's way too high. Let me bring it down. Mic gain is about 60. It's leveled out.
It still sounds hot. Go back and make sure that your processor is at 30 out of 10. Make sure your processor is 30 out of 10, Roger.
10. Make sure your processor is 30 out of 10, Roger.
It's 30 out of 100, over.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry. All right, and you verified that, Roger?
Sorry. All right, and you verified that, Roger?
Yeah, Roger.
All right, just dead key your mic for about 5 seconds. Don't say anything, just key your mic and let me listen to you.
5 seconds, don't say anything, just key your mic and let me listen to you.
Yeah, that looks good. That's only about 5 dB rise over about 10 seconds. So that sounds fine. So why don't you tell me about your antenna system now, and let me listen to you, Roger.
Your antenna system now, and let me listen to you, Roger.
Roger. Mic gain is now at 45%. ALC is responding nicely. I'm on a gap Titan vertical. It is on top of a Run 25G tower at 20 feet in height, using LMR 400 coax. Got lightning arrestor in the line. I'm using a Ameritron AOS 600 amplifier. I'm running currently at 450 watts. Over.
Roger. Okay, let's move on to your equalizer. So if you're like the other guy, if you're like Farrell, you've got a 3-band parametric EQ, Roger?
Like Farrell, you've got a 3-band parametric EQ, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I can lower down the EQ level on the bass. That may help you out. Over.
No, just wait just a minute. Let's do it this way. First thing I want you to do is go up on your treble side, and I want you to make that 2.7 kilohertz frequency width of 4 plus 3 from where you are.
Width of 4 plus 3 from where you are.
Yeah, I'm at 27 hertz, 2700. Parametric EQ3 level 10, parametric EQ3 bandwidth 10.
We want that width to be a 4. On that 2.7, we want the width to be a 4, Roger?
On that 2.7, we want the width to be a 4, Roger?
All right, bandwidth is now a 4 on 2700.
Okay, and the mid frequency is off, Roger?
The mid frequency is off, Roger?
Say again.
Your mid-range control is off. Neither cut nor boost, off, Roger?
Off. Neither cut nor boost, off, Roger?
Your mid-EQ control should be flat.
Right, mid-boost is...
Your mid-EQ control should be flat.
Mid-boost is off.
Yes, sir. Okay, now let's go to your base frequency. The base frequency should be 200 cycles, 200 cycles, width of 4. 200 cycles, width of 4, roger.
Width of 4. 200 cycles, width of 4, roger.
Roger, base frequency is now at 200 instead of 700. Bandwidth went from a 10 to a 4, over.
Okay, and I want you to roll out 2 more clicks of base frequency, minus 2 clicks base frequency from where you were just now.
See, minus 2 clicks base frequency from where you were just now.
That sets it to the off position.
It was plus 2, is that a roger?
It was plus 2, is that a roger?
It was 200. Are you referring to the level? You want me to reduce the level?
Yes, sir. Let me give it to you. 200 cycles, the frequency, width of 4, and the attenuation would be minus 2 clicks. Minus 2 clicks, 200 cycles, width of 4.
2 clicks, 200 cycles, width of 4.
Roger. All right, it's minus 2 on the level.
All right, take it down one more click. One more click to a total of minus 3. Total of minus 3, roger?
To a total of minus 3. Total of minus 3, roger?
Roger. It is now at minus 3.
All right, and Joe, what I want you to do is step back off that mic about 2 inches further back off that mic than what you have been doing, roger?
Inches further back off that mic than what you have been doing, roger?
Unless you get foam windscreen. I'm sure that microphone may have a foam windscreen or not, does it?
I'm sure that microphone may have a foam windscreen or not, does it?
It does. It's an M90 reference microphone, desk microphone.
Yes, sir. Now, does the windscreen fit over the whole microphone, or is it an internal foam windscreen?
A whole microphone, or is it an internal foam windscreen?
It's just a standard over-the-top foam screen that comes with the microphone. Over.
Yes, sir. You sound just beautiful like that. I would run it just like that, Joe, and you can listen to it. You can listen to the differences. There's quite a bit of transients when you were really on top of it, but right now the EQ works out fine, and the transients work out fine. Just beautiful. Working it just like that.
Fine. Just beautiful. Working it just like that.
Roger. I appreciate your critique there. I saw you on YouTube from a friend of mine. He posted it up on our local forum, and it got me interested. I heard about this net, and I wanted to check in and get mine leveled out right. Everyone locally says that I sound great, but I said no. I know there's it could be better.
Yes, sir. Well, I think you should get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down. And maybe one other thing, well, maybe not. I would just get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down. You sound just beautiful, and you can check it out on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2900, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger?
2900, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, roger?
Roger. I appreciate your assistance, sir. This is KE4LMV in Columbus, Georgia. I'll be clear.
Yes, sir, Joe. Sounds really good. 73. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Echo 8 Zulu after November.
Kilo Echo 8 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
So Echo 8 station, come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign.
QSL, that's Kilo Echo 8, November.
You got Kilo Echo 8 something something November. So, you know, try it again and kind of keep up on those 2 words after 8.
Try it again and kind of keep up on those 2 words after 8.
Zulu, Oscar, November, Zebra, Ocean, Norway.
Okay, you got Kilo Echo 8 Ocean Norway, is that correct?
Okay, you got Kilo Echo 8 Ocean Norway, is that correct?
Negative. It's Zulu for Zebra, Ocean, Norway. QSL.
Zebra Ocean Norway, roger, roger.
Zebra Ocean Norway, roger, roger.
QSL.
All right, sir, and what's the name there?
All right, sure, and what's the name there?
The name is Mark, Michael Alpha Roger Kilo.
All right, Mark, and what's the location? Where are you located?
All right, Mark, and what's the location? Where are you located?
I am located in southeast Lake India, north of Detroit, about 50 miles.
Try that one more time. Give me the state one more time.
Try that one more time. Give me the state one more time.
Michigan, Lake India. I'm in Lake India in the thumb region north of Detroit, about 50 miles.
Roger that, Mark. And what radio are we running today?
Roger that, Mark. And what radio are we running today?
We're operating the Yaesu FT710. Yaesu FT710, and I'm running on the 7510 inside.
All right, Mark, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna, and let me look around for a better path, Roger?
Tell me about your antenna, and let me look around for a better path, Roger?
Roger. Okay, so we have my antenna, inside antenna. It's running, I don't know, it's probably about 30 feet up at the feet end, and the far end probably about 50, 55 feet up. It runs across from one tree and then over to another. It's not quite a V, it's more like a open mouth antenna.
Yes, sir, Mark. I've got you on my local antenna at about 15 over, so it's a pretty good signal. Give me your radio one more time. What is it?
The Yaesu FT710.
FT710, is that a Roger?
QSL.
All right, so the first thing would be to verify that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, Roger?
I picked you up. How would I determine that?
It's in settings. Is that an older radio or a newer radio?
Oh, it's a newer radio, yeah. The FT710 is recent. It's
Okay, so it's in settings, transmit, somewhere in there, in settings, and settings is those cross arms there with a wrench and something, that's your settings, and it'd be transmit, sideband, something,
I see settings, and then I got TX audio and TX general.
TX audio.
Okay, and again, what am I looking for? One more time, I'm sorry.
Transmit bandwidth, TBW. Transmit bandwidth, TBW. And it could be either general or it could be an audio, But if it's not, check audio first, TBW. And you should have maybe a selection of 3 different frequency widths. One of them will be 100 to 2900, Roger.
Quite
quite a few settings in here. I'm looking under TX Audio and TX General. The TX Audio has quite a bit of parametric, and then there's so it's the E1 bandwidth.
TBW, yeah. You have a bandwidth?
It's parametric E01 bandwidth, QSO.
It's not equalization now, it's your transmitter bandwidth, and there's usually like three selections. One of them is 100 to 2900, there or thereabouts. Roger? It's probably in that already, but I have found some radios that came back from the manufacturer that was not in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, and that's really what we want. But I tell you what, why don't you make a note so you can look that up later, maybe? 100 to 2900, Roger.
100 to 2900 bandwidth, QSO.
Transmit bandwidth, Roger.
TX bandwidth, QSO.
Okay, so the next thing now would be to move to your processor, and with mic gain in hand, in your processor we want 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Your transmit processor compressor, 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger?
Yeah, like I said, there's quite a few settings in here. I'm under TX Audio.
Roger, this would be a compressor processor on, and 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how they have it labeled. It'd probably be 30 out of 100.
I'm sorry, Jim. I'm not finding exactly what we're looking for here.
Okay, take a note on that then. Compressor processor on, and 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 level-wise. Roger?
Compressor processor, 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100?
Yeah, depending on how it's labeled, 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, and it could be called processor or compressor, whichever. Probably a processor, Roger.
QSO.
Okay, so then go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word in a QSO, audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is reading 7 or 2/3. 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter. As you say the word audio, dragging out the front, you become a human test tone generator, and with microphone you adjust your level until you're -7 or you're at 2/3, depending on which your meter does.
Okay. So when I get to bar 7, so I'm going to say audio. That's my processor level. I'm changing that. Audio. It's sticking in there between a 7 and a 9.
Yes, sir. Okay, now let's move to your equalizer, your EQ page, your equalizer page, or your tone control page, depending on how they name it. Okay, so on the compressor we want a 30 out of 100, Roger, on, and a 30 out of 100.
goes to 100, so we want it set at 30, right?
Yeah, if it goes to 100, we want it 30. If it goes to 10, we want 3. Roger?
Roger, roger. I'm at 30 there.
All right, so we're going for the equalizer page, sideband, transmit, and tone control or equalization. Transmit.
Yeah, I mean, I've got transmit general. There's HF max power, 50 max power, 75 max power. That's under general. Under audio, TX audio, they're all parametric equal. There's frequency, level, bandwidth.
Yes, sir. Right in there. And we want to be on the P set of controls. You have a P set of controls, Roger?
Yeah, there's parametric and P parametric here.
Yes, sir. We want P parametric because you have your processor on. So we're on P parametric, Roger?
Just I understand that one. But so where am I looking for here now?
All right. So is that a 3-band or that's a 3-band, Roger?
Well, I've got bandwidth, level, frequency. Yeah, there's equalizer 2, there's equalizer 3. So I guess that would be the 3-band?
Yes, sir. 3 of those. Roger, Roger?
Right. In QSO, I got that.
Okay, so we want to be on the P set of controls. We want to go to the treble frequency, which is probably number 3. And we're looking for 2.7 kilohertz. We want that treble control to be 2.7 kilohertz, Roger?
I'm looking at the EQ3 frequency. You're not looking at frequency, correct?
What is the frequency of the number 3?
2400 hertz. So.
Yes, sir. So move that up to 2.7.
Now we're at 2.7.
Width of 4 plus 5 from where you are.
On the bandwidth?
You have frequency, that's 2.7. You have width, that is 4. You have level, and that is, let's make it 4 clicks up, 4 clicks boost from where you are. Roger?
Okay, so it's bandwidth. Yeah, I'm at a 4 now.
Okay, so then your mid-range should be flat or off. Mids should be flat or off.
I'm not seeing anything that says midway.
Yeah, make sure that that's the middle control. It should be off or flat.
Jim, just interrupt for a second. I can tell him where that 129 is if you want me to share that information.
I think he found that one. I'm not sure. Let's see. Mark, you found your transmit bandwidth at 100 to 2900, Roger?
Yeah, it's under radio settings, mode single sideband, and the option is transmit, bandpass filter, BPF.
Yeah, I'm not sure I found that.
It's under radio settings, then mode single sideband, and the title is transmit BPF, bandpass filter.
Okay, radio settings, mode single sideband.
Are you on the radio setting screen?
Correct. Yes, QSO.
The very first one should say mode single sideband.
All right, QSO on the left, very first one, mode single sideband.
Okay, then go over and go down to TX BPF, bandpass filter.
TXBP and BPF SEL.
But he wants you to put that on 100 to 2900.
100 to 2900 it is.
Okay, there you go, Jim.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right, so I think we're back to EQ now. You're in the P set of controls, and you have that mid-control flat or off. Roger, roger?
No, that's where I'm lost. Oh, sorry, I apologize, Jim.
Okay, so you have two set of controls. One of them is a P set of EQ controls.
Still not following.
Okay, so it's single sideband transmit tone control or equalization.
Looking at stable mid-tone and gain, bass gain.
Repeat your first.
AF treble gain. This is on the mode single sideband, still under radio settings.
This would be in equalization, your equalization page, your tone control page.
That's under operation settings and transmit audio.
Transmit audio, Qso.
You got to back out of that other one that you was in and go to operation settings and then go down to transmit audio.
Qso, I'm on operating settings, transmit audio.
I can't hear him, Jim, too well.
He's on transmit audio, I think he is.
Okay, Jim. Like I say, you got parametric, and then if you go on down, you got P-parametric, which is where he wants you to be.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, I'm on the P-parametric. There's 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so P set of controls, and you have basically three controls there: transmit, bass, mid-range, and treble. So we've got, let's review those. Let's go for the mid-frequency. That should be off, plus or minus 0, or off. Plus or minus 0, or off. Roger?
No, that's not in. That's not. There's nothing in here that has mid-range or anything along that line.
Mid-range number 2.
Yeah, mid-range number 2. That's the. You have three controls there. Mid-range number 2 is treble, and we want that off, or cutter minus 0, or off. Cutter push 0, or flat, or off.
Everything's P-parametric. EQ1, EQ1, EQ2. There's frequency, level, bandwidth.
Exactly. So we're working on number 2 right now, which is the mid-range. So on that one, it should be flat or off. Flat or off. Neither cut nor boost, flat or off.
So I'm on the EQ1 level or bandwidth or frequency.
Number 2, equalization, which is your mid-range control in the P range. You want to be all in the P range since you have your processor on. So all of these adjustments are going to be in the P range of equalization. Roger? Now you have an equalization grouping in the middle, which is your mid-range control. Roger?
Okay, well, I see EQ2. There's 1, 2, 3 of them there.
In that
frequency, level, and bandwidth.
You turn it all the way to the left. It goes all the way down until you get the word off.
I'm sorry, y'all doubled. Let's see here. Mark, do you see an on-off switch? Does he have an on-off switch?
Off is located in the frequency category. If you lower the frequency, you'll come to the word off.
So it would be all the way to the left, the mid-range all the way to the left, and find the in the attenuate circuit and find an off. Is that a Roger?
Well, it's under PDAC parametric EQ number 2, which is the mid-range, and the frequency category, you just turn that all the way to the left and you get to the word off.
Yeah, so take that number 2 attenuate control all the way to the left, and it has an off circuit there. So we want that one off. Roger?
And now we're on the EQ frequency, QSO?
Frequency number 2. Frequency control, EQ control number 2. Roger? Number 2. The attenuator, we want to go all the way to the left till you find the word off.
So it's P parametric, E2 frequency, and I have it off.
Yay! Yay! All right. So let's go to the base frequency, which is number 1. Base frequency number 1. I want to go to 200 cycles. 200 cycles on base frequency. Roger?
Parametric EQ. Well, I need my glasses. Oh. Okay, frequency 1 and at 300 hertz right now.
All right, I want you to do a -4 in the shape, a -4. I'm sorry, a 4 in the shape department on that frequency. So you shape it to a 4. Roger.
Okay, okay, so I'm at a 2 now. I'm sorry. EQ1 bandwidth at a 2.
Okay, we want to go to a 4. Want to go to a 4 on your bandwidth. Roger.
QSL, we're at a 4.
Okay, I want you to step back off that mic about 2 inches additional from where you are.
QSL, audio, QSL, I'm at about 5 inches away from her now.
All right, then I want you to go to EQ number 3 and add 3 clicks additional push at 2.7 kilohertz.
Okay, I'm at 3 frequency, and it's at 2700 right now. And where do you want me to put her at?
Plus 4 clicks boost. Additional boost from where you are on number 3 PEQ.
We're looking at frequency level bandwidth. What am I looking at here?
Your bandwidth is 4. Bandwidth is 4. Your frequency is 2.7. Your push is 3 clicks additional from where you are.
Well, I got 2.7, and my bandwidth is 4, and then the only one left is the level, which is at a 10 right now.
All right, so we want 3 additional from where you are. 3 clicks push additional from where you are.
Well, 10 is the top, so.
All right, be my guest.
I'm just saying 10 is the maximum, and it's at 10 right now.
All righty, so why don't you tell me about your antenna system, and let me listen to you for a minute.
Yes, okay, I appreciate your patience with me. Again, we have a 7510 N fed hanging up in the 10 N fed. Hanging up in the trees about 50 feet at the end. I think it's set at about 157 feet away. So that's where we're at with my 2.
Okay, I want you to go on your low frequency number 1. I want to minus that 2 more clicks, minus 2 clicks more control on number 1. Your base control. We want to roll 2 clicks additional roll on that from where you are.
QSL, I just brought it down 2 clicks. How's that going?
All right, tell me about your radio for about 10 seconds.
QSL, yeah, this is FT710, Yaesu FT710. I've only been a ham here for about 3 or 4 months, but you can't pick up on that yet. But I went to my technicians around Thanksgiving, and then my general around the first week of December, and now I'm looking to do my extra.
All right, let's go back to your ALC and readjust your level, because we have been screwing with your EQ quite a bit. And anytime you make adjustments to your EQ, you could have lowered your ALC quite a bit. So again, as we learned, you just do the word audio and adjust your mic gain for 7 on your AOC meter.
QSL, okay, audio. Okay, I'm about 5 inches, I'm just saying normal. That's audio. Let's go up a little more, audio, okay.
All right, back to your EQ, minus 2 more clicks on your bass frequency. Minus 2 more clicks on your bass frequency, and so that's 200, and what would that be? Minus 2 from where you are, 200 on the frequency, 4 on the width, 200 on the frequency and 4 on the width. And what is your attenuation level right at the moment?
Okay, and the bass was 1, was it?
Okay, take it to 3, minus 3.
No, I'm sorry. The bass was the EQ1 or EQ2 or EQ3?
Your bass, EQ1, your bass frequency. Yeah, keep in mind how that works. Bass is 1, treble is 2. I'm sorry, your bass is 1, mid-range is 2, treble is 3. Roger? All in the P controls.
So I'm at 700 right now.
I think we doubled.
I'm sorry, I QSL on that, and my bass frequency is at 200 hertz.
200, and what is your attenuation of that? Are you minus 4, 3, 2, 1, what?
So width is at 1.
I'm talking about your attenuation. You have 3 controls. One is a push minus, the other is your frequency, and the other is your width. So the width is 4, the push frequency is 200, so the other is the attenuate. What is your attenuate level at this moment?
I have 200 hertz, level 6, and 4 bandwidth, so would that be the 6?
Okay, on your level control, minus 3 clicks additional, minus 3 clicks additional from where you are on your level control. Roger?
QSL, that brings me down to a 3.
All righty, sounded pretty good. Again, tell me about the best thing you like about your radio.
The best thing I like about the radio, I mean, I get a lot of good reports out of it as was. I did follow a YouTube video on it from, where are we at here, from N4HNH, and that's how I got the settings that I had before I found you on the band here.
All right, on your bass frequency again, 2 more clicks minus 2 clicks additional from where you are on your bass frequency, number 1.
You say 2 clicks down?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that sets me at a 1 right there.
It sounded pretty good. Tell me something I don't know.
Well, I'm a 60-year-old gentleman from southeast Michigan. I've been here all my life, and divorced, and got 2 dogs. I love dogs, and wish I was in a warmer climate right now.
Roger, roger. Okay, 1 more click minus on your bass control, number 1. Minus 1 click additional attenuation level, minus 1 level on EQ1. Roger?
QSL, that brings me down to a 0. There's no place. I'm at the basement at this point, QSL.
Oh, so you're faded all the way on that control?
That's correct. I'm down to a 0. There's nowhere else to go with it.
All right, sounded mighty good. Tell me about the radio that you would like to have that you don't have.
Well, I'm looking to do some CODA. I found a little interest in that. I found a little interest in that, and I was thinking about getting an FT891. I do have some ham sticks that I bought, and I was using this radio, but being the weather, it's the use. And
All right, I think you faded out on my my 7300. Come back and let me just listen to you. Something I don't know again.
Something I don't know. I've been pretty into another hobby I have is raising border collies and training border collies and dogs. I do that, and I do a lot of computer work. I do computer repair on the side. I've been doing that for about 30 years. Just maintenance and
let me see if I can get in my Hocus Pocus SDR. Let me see if I can get something closer in Michigan than where I am. We shall see, because I want to get a good copy on you. I got a pretty good copy, but I can get a better copy sometimes. There's, let's see, let's try Thurston, see what lives in Thurston, Michigan. Come on around here to that and that, and okay. Mark, come back and let me listen to you just for a second. Be sure I'm in the right place.
In the right place. Qso, so yeah, I'm assuming you're turning your antenna. Again, as if you haven't picked up on it, I haven't been into radio since back in the 70s, and a friend of mine got me back into it here just recently, and this is all kind of new to me, so I'm sure you're figuring that out just by talking to me.
Yes, sir. Well, everybody's got to be somewhere, and to learn. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm going to an internet SDR that's very, very good for you. You're about 20 over on this Thurston SDR, and so this is the best copy I've had on you. I wanted you to just check your mid-range control number 2. That should be in the off mode. Is that a Roger?
The off mode. Is that a Roger? QSL, my frequency in 2 is off. QSL?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you're maxed out on your treble boost at 2.7 width of 4?
0.7 width of 4? Actually, the frequency on 3 goes to, oh, I'm sorry. You weren't talking about the frequency, were you?
Yes. Why don't you tell me what 3 is? Your number 3 control. You're in the P set of controls. Number 3 EQ in that range. What does it read?
What does it read? Okay, so it's number 3. My frequency is at 2700 hertz. I have a level of 10, and the bandwidth is set at 4.
Yes, sir. And you're maxed out on your push. 10 is all you can go, Roger?
10 is all you can go, Roger? QSL, that's the maximum.
Sound pretty good. Sound pretty good to me. I would leave it like that. I'm monitoring you right now on an SDR in your neighborhood, so you really have a good signal. But SDRs do have a habit of cutting off the low frequencies, like at about 200 cycles. So I'm going to switch back over to my my local antenna, which is running a 7300, and double check your audio, Roger.
And double check your audio, Roger. Roger. Understand completely. I use the Kiwi SDR there a little bit when I'm away from the radio, just to monitor stuff and watching TV.
Yes, sir. You sound good both on the Kiwi and my local. So get the Gorilla Tape out and tape her down.
Roger. I appreciate your patience, Jim. Yours and the other gentleman out there didn't catch his call sign, but again, I'm learning. So now that I understand a little more about the bass treble and the mid-range and the 3 of each, I've got a little better handle on that.
Yes, sir. The reason that we get that mid-range control flat or off is that most microphones, even bad microphones, are great in the mid-range usually. The problem is that the mic circuitry and all that stuff starts to get into trouble as we go to the higher frequencies and the lower frequencies. So the EQ is designed to strike a balance between the treble EQ in the mid-range and the bass in the mid-range. And if we push the mid-range, it's so much harder for the bass and the treble to catch up with that. So we want that flat. So that's so much so that even in the 7300 and the 7610, they don't even bother putting a mid-range control in there because they want that to be flat. And to strike a balance, they just have a two-control EQ, treble, and bass, and it just is so simple that way. Roger. So simple that way. Roger.
I grasp a bit of what you're saying. You obviously have a vast amount of knowledge in this, and I'm just down here at the bottom trying to figure it out myself. Yep, I'm grasping what you're saying.
Yes, so the whole idea is there's two-prong attack on this thing. We're trying to get your compression limiting up to 3 dB dynamic range. In other words, if I were to put a VU meter on a PA system somewhere that had no other processing, it was just a straight amplifier, and you were speaking on that PA, and I was looking at it on a VU meter, I would have what's called a 10 dB dynamic range. That meter's flopping up and down from 0 to minus 20 and minus 20 up to 0 level, but that's not too good for radio because we have a lot of noise and stuff. So we want to pull up that lower stuff and then reduce that upper stuff to where we have a 3 dB dynamic range. So we go from a 30 dB dynamic range, 30% average peak modulation, which is a 10 dB dynamic range, to a 3 dB dynamic range, which means that your average percent of peak modulation is around 80 to 85%, which is a much more copyable signal on your listener to your transmitter. So essentially that's what we do, and then we want to crisp up the audio to where it's very perceived. The articulation is such that even if you're under somebody's noise level, they can still perceive not only the words, but what the words are. There's so many times when people don't have good equalization on their microphone, you can hear them, but you can't understand what they're saying because it's either muffled or no top-end articulation. And so what we want to do is bring your articulation level up to be a very perceived word, and then compress it, process it to where it's loud but not distorted. We don't want distortion. Is a negative thing to your audio. It just distracts from your audio. So we want it nice and loud, clean, and articulated. Roger.
And articulated. Roger. I'll say this. I'm talking off the stock mic, and I've considered buying a bass mic, but I haven't gotten that far yet. But the last gentleman you assisted, you made a huge difference in his audio. He was very, very bassy, and I had a hard time understanding him. And then when you were done with him, he was very crisp, and I was impressed with that.
Yes, sir, and you are also that way. And if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2900, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger, QSL. And so this is something you do on Fridays? So this is a net that you do, is that correct?
Yes, sir. From 3:30 till 5, we've been doing it for the last 6 years. We have 2,900 Qso-Vlog Airchecks, and hopefully we'll be able to get a few more in before we check out or go to another frequency or something. But we've been here for about 6 years.
QSL, Jim. Okay, well, I appreciate it. I'm sorry to take up as much time as I have, and I hope people behind me would have patience as well as you do. So, all right, I'll look it up on there, and I'm going to recommend you to a couple other people I know. I appreciate what you do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You sound really beautiful. I think you love your recording. 73 there, Mark. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. And for those that have participated, if you would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2900, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. And with all that being said, we got to get out of here. This is KC9VKV, returning the frequency back to normal amateur radio use. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor is clear.